Holiday New Jersey Destruction of 2022 event by Colton Dennis. Hello everyone and welcome to Holiday New Jersey Destruction, where tonight we have 3 great matches in store for all of you, said announcer number 1. Yeah, and I can't wait. We have the Global Championship being defended in a TLC match and the US Continental Championship defended inside a steel cage. Man, I can't wait for this, said announcer number 2. Well, let's not wait any longer then. Let's head down to the ring, said announcer number 1. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is a one-on-one over-the-top challenge, where the competitors must throw their opponent over the top rope, with both feet landing on the floor, and is for the Ladies' Championship. Introducing the challengers first, the Amazon, and her opponent, she is the Ladies' Champion, Gemini, said announcer number 3. Gemini raises the title then hands it to referee number 1. Referee number 1 raises the title, walks towards the ropes, goes through them then hands it to number 1. Bell dings. The Amazon runs at Gemini then goes clothesline her. Gemini ducks. The Amazon turns around. Gemini goes for a jumping cutter onto the Amazon. The Amazon pushes Gemini. Gemini staggers forward then turns around. The Amazon clotheslines Gemini. Gemini groans. Man, what a clothesline, said announcer number 2. The Amazon picks Gemini up then goes to throw her over the top rope. Gemini is holding onto the ropes. The Amazon lifts Gemini's left leg. Gemini is struggling then pushes the Amazon with her legs. The Amazon falls onto the mat then groans. Gemini approaches the Amazon then punches her. The Amazon groans. Gemini kicks the Amazon's stomach. The Amazon groans. Gemini sets the Amazon up for a suplex then tries lifting her. The Amazon blocks. Gemini tries lifting the Amazon again. The Amazon blocks again then suplexes Gemini. Gemini lands onto the mat, then groans. Oh, that was a devastating suplex, said announcer number 1. The Amazon picks Gemini up, then throws her over the top rope. Gemini holds onto the top rope, pulls herself up onto the ledge of the ring then rolls inside it. The Amazon looks at Gemini then approaches Gemini. Gemini grabs the Amazon's tights then pulls her. The Amazon goes through the middle rope then lands onto her feet outside of the ring. Amazon is not eliminated, folks. She went through the middle ropes, said announcer number 2. The Amazon slides into the ring. Gemini stands up, bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then runs at the Amazon. The Amazon lifts Gemini into the air, catches her onto her shoulders, then does a Samoan drop onto her. Gemini groans. Oh man, what a Samoan drop, said announcer number 1. The Amazon stands up then looks at Gemini. Gemini slowly stands up then turns around. The Amazon superkicks Gemini. Gemini groans then falls onto the mat. Man, what a superkick that was, said announcer number 2. Gemini looks like she's out, said announcer number 1. All Amazon has to do is pick her up, then throw her over the top rope, said announcer number 2. The Amazon goes through the middle rope then climbs up the turnbuckle. I think Amazon wants to do one more thing, said announcer number 1. The Amazon gets to the top turnbuckle, looks down at Gemini, jumps off of it then goes for body splash. Gemini moves. The Amazon lands face first onto the mat, then groans. Gemini moved, said announcer number 2. She still has a lot of fight left in her, said announcer number 1. The Amazon slowly stands up then turns around. Gemini quickly stands up, then does a jumping cutter onto the Amazon. The Amazon groans. The jumping cutter connects, said announcer number 2. Gemini stands up, picks the Amazon up, then throws her over the top rope. The Amazon lands onto the floor. Bell dings. Here's your winner and still the ladies' champion, Gemini, said announcer number 3. Referee number 1 hands the title to Gemini, then raises her left arm. Gemini raises the title. Gemini has retained her title, said announcer number 2. When everyone thought she was out, she snuck in, then came out with the victory. Congratulations, Gemini, said announcer number 1. Gemini, look behind you, said announcer number 2. Gemini turns around, then gets super kicked. The Amazon is standing over Gemini, looks at the turnbuckle, goes through the middle rope, climbs up it, then gets to the top. She's thinking about it again, said announcer number 1. The Amazon looks down at Gemini, jumps off of the top turn buckle, then does a body splash onto her. Gemini groans. The Amazon is kneeling next to Gemini. You're so lucky this time, said the Amazon, rolling outside of the ring. Man, I wouldn't want to mess with her, said announcer number 1. Who would want to? Asked announcer number 2. Well, Gemini is still the ladies' champion. And as we switch to the next match, the U.S. Continental Championship is on the line, said announcer number 1. Drake is in serious trouble, because Cataclysm ain't one to mess around, said announcer number 2. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is inside a steel cage, and is for the U.S. Continental Championship. Introducing the challengers first, the Cataclysm, and his opponent. He is the U.S. Continental Champion, Drake, said announcer number 3. Referee number 2 raises the title, goes through the middle rope, then walks down the steel stairs. The cage door shuts. Bell dings. Both Drake and the Cataclysm are staring at each other. Drake quickly runs towards the cage door. The Cataclysm quickly grabs Drake, then throws him away from the cage door. Drake rolls backwards onto the mat, then looks at the Cataclysm. You're not winning that easily, said the Cataclysm. Drake stands up, runs, then starts climbing up the ropes. The Cataclysm hits Drake's back. Drake groans. The Cataclysm pulls down Drake, then clotheslines him hard. Drake groans. I don't see Drake making out as champion, said announcer number 1. I don't see him making it out alive, said announcer number 2. The Cataclysm picks Drake up, lifts, then slams him onto the mat. Drake groans, then sits up on the mat. The Cataclysm pushes Drake onto the mat, bounces off of the ropes, then goes for a jumping knee onto him. Drake moves. The Cataclysm lands onto the mat, groans, then holds his left leg. Oh, Drake has an opportunity now, said announcer number 1. Drake stands up, bounces off of the ropes, then dropkicks the Cataclysm's torso. The Cataclysm groans. Drake stands up, then starts climbing up the ropes. Drake's trying to escape, said announcer number 2. The Cataclysm stands up, then hits Drake's back. Drake groans. The Cataclysm sets Drake up for a powerbomb, walks away from the cage wall, then plants him onto the mat. Drake groans. Man, what a powerbomb, said announcer number 1. The Cataclysm starts walking towards the cage door. Open it, said the Cataclysm. Drake grabs the Cataclysm's right leg. The Cataclysm looks down at Drake, then picks him up. Drake wraps his arms around the Cataclysm's head, then does a jawbreaker onto him. The Cataclysm groans, then holds his jaw. Drake stands up, then dropkicks the Cataclysm. The Cataclysm falls onto the mat. Drake's fighting back, said announcer number 2. Drake stands up, then walks towards the cage door. The cage door opens. Drake starts going through the middle rope. The Cataclysm grabs Drake, then pulls him back through the middle rope. Cataclysm has Drake, said announcer number 1. Drake moves the Cataclysm's arms, then continuously punches him. The Cataclysm, continuously groaning. Drake bounces the Cataclysm off of the ropes. The Cataclysm reverses it. Drake bounces off of the ropes. The Cataclysm lifts Drake into the air. Drake lands face first onto the mat, then groans. That had to hurt, said announcer number 2. The Cataclysm picks Drake up, lifts him onto his right shoulder, then runs at the cage wall. Drake is squirming, lands onto his feet behind. The Cataclysm then pushes him into the cage wall. The Cataclysm groans, then falls onto his left knee. Drake runs, jumps onto the middle rope, then does a springboard roundhouse kick onto the Cataclysm. The Cataclysm groans, then lays onto the mat. There's Drake's springboard roundhouse kick. Now, could he make it out of the cage? Asked announcer number 1. Drake starts climbing up the ropes. Gets to the top rope, then goes up the cage wall. The Cataclysm is slowly moving. Drake continues climbing up the cage wall. The Cataclysm stands, climbs up the ropes, then hits Drake's back. Drake groans. The Cataclysm pulls Drake down the cage wall. Drake punches the Cataclysm. The Cataclysm is groaning, then punches Drake. Drake is groaning. Only one will get the momentum first, said announcer number 2. Both Drake and the Cataclysm continue punching each other. Drake elbows the Cataclysm's stomach. The Cataclysm groans. Drake grabs the Cataclysm's head, then goes to bounce it off of the cage wall. The Cataclysm grabs the cage wall, then elbows Drake's stomach. Drake groaning. Then kicks the Cataclysm's right leg. The Cataclysm falls onto the top rope, then groans. Drake is holding onto the cage wall, then smiles. Man, right where the sun doesn't shine, said announcer number 1. Drake steps back onto the top ropes, then starts jumping up and down. The Cataclysm continuously groaning, then moves Drake's left leg. Drake falls onto the top rope, then groans. Oh man, both are now on the top rope, said announcer number 2. The Cataclysm gets off of the top rope, leans against the top rope, then starts shaking it. Drake continuously groaning. Oh, that really hurts, said announcer number 1. The Cataclysm continues shaking the top rope. Drake jumps over the top rope, then clotheslines the Cataclysm. The Cataclysm falls onto the mat. Oh man, Cataclysm didn't even see that coming, said announcer number 2. Both Drake and the Cataclysm stand up, then start punching each other. The Cataclysm is groaning, then goes to punch Drake. Drake ducks, quickly bends the Cataclysm back, then sets up for a cutter. Here it comes, said announcer number 1. The Cataclysm is squirming, wraps his right arm around Drake's waist, then lifts him onto his shoulder. Look at the power of the Cataclysm, said announcer number 2. The Cataclysm does a running power slam onto Drake. Drake groans. A running power slam, said announcer number 1. Now Cataclysm just needs to go out the door. Or climb over the cage wall, said announcer number 2. The Cataclysm stands up, starts climbing up the ropes, gets to the top rope, then goes up the cage wall. Drake is slowly moving. The Cataclysm gets to the top for the cage. Drake climbs up the ropes, then grabs the Cataclysm's left leg. The Cataclysm looks down at Drake, then climbs down the cage wall. Drake punches the Cataclysm. The Cataclysm punches Drake. Drake groans. Then goes to punch the Cataclysm. The Cataclysm blocks, grabs Drake's head, then bounces it off the cage wall. Drake groans. The Cataclysm bounces Drake's head off the cage wall again. Drake is groaning. The Cataclysm looks down at the mat, at Drake, then lifts him onto his left shoulder. Oh my God, what's Cataclysm thinking here? Asked announcer number 1. The Cataclysm jumps off the top rope, then does a power slam onto Drake. Drake groans. What a power slam, said announcer number 2. The Cataclysm slowly stands up, then leans against the ropes. Come on, Cataclysm. Climb over the cage wall, said announcer number 1. The Cataclysm starts climbing up the ropes. Drake is laying motionless on the mat. Drake hasn't moved, said announcer number 1. That was a far drop for a power slam, said announcer number 2. The Cataclysm gets to the top of the cage, then starts climbing down. Cataclysm's gonna be our new U.S. Continental Champion, said announcer number 1. The Cataclysm jumps off the cage wall. The lights go out. Hey, what happened to the lights? Asked announcer number 2. The lights turn back on. The Cataclysm appears laying motionless on the mat. Drake appears laying on the floor. Beldings. Here's your winner and still the U.S. Continental Champion, Drake, said announcer number 3. Drake is still our champion. But what happened? Why'd the lights go out? Asked announcer number 1. Yeah, and how'd Drake get out of the cage and Cataclysm get back inside it? Asked announcer number 2. Something must have happened because Cataclysm's laid out, said announcer number 1. Man, I just wonder what happened when the lights went out, said announcer number 2. Everyone's wondering that. Well, folks, we made it to the main event, said announcer number 1. Beldings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is a TLC match, and is for the Galaxy Championship. Introducing the challengers first, Dread, and his opponent. He is the Galaxy Champion, the Guns, said announcer number 3. Beldings. Here we go. Dread versus the Guns for the Galaxy Championship, said announcer number 2. I just can't wait to see what happens, said announcer number 1. The Guns points up at the title. That's mine. Do you hear me? That title is mine, said the Guns. For now, said Dread. The Guns smiles, then slaps Dread. Dread holds his face, then looks at the Guns. What are you gonna do? Asked the Guns. Dread smiles, then dropkicks the Guns. The Guns falls onto the mat, then rolls outside of the ring. I guess Guns deserved that, said announcer number 2. The Guns is holding onto his face. Dread bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, runs, jumps over the top rope, then lands onto the Guns. The Guns groans. Dread stands up, walks over, then picks up a ladder. The ladder slides inside of the ring. Dread slides into the ring, picks up the ladder, then sets it up. Here we go, said announcer number 1. Dread climbs up the ladder. A steel chair gets thrown at Dread. Dread groans, then falls off of the ladder. The Guns pushes the ladder over. The ladder leans against the ropes. Guns won't allow that to happen. Not this easily in the match, said announcer number 2. The Guns chops Dread's chest. Dread groans. The Guns chops Dread's chest again. Dread groans, then walks along the ropes. The Guns bounces Dread off of the ropes, then bends over. Dread kicks the Guns' chest. The Guns groans, then stands up. Dread drop kicks the Guns. The Guns falls onto the mat. You know, I just wonder how beat up these two are because of what the man did at the last pay-per-view to Guns and what Strangler did to Dread, said announcer number 1. They look good so far, said announcer number 2. Dread picks up the ladder, sees the Guns standing up, runs at him, jumps up, then does a hurricane rana over the top rope. Both Dredd and the Guns land onto the floor. Oh, both Dredd and Guns went over the top rope, then landed onto the floor, said announcer number 1. Both Dredd and the Guns slowly stand up. Dredd goes to punch the Guns. The Guns ducks, sets up for back suplex, lifts Dredd, then faceplants him onto the floor. Oh, what a faceplant onto the floor, said announcer number 2. People who don't feel pain felt that, said announcer number 1. The Guns stands up, grabs a ladder, then picks it up. Dredd stands up. The Guns runs at Dredd. The top of the ladder hits Dredd's head. Dredd falls into the barricade. Man, that could decapitate someone, said announcer number 2. The Guns places the ladder between the ring and the announce table. What does Guns have in store? Asked announcer number 1. The Guns grabs a table, sets it up, then places it underneath the ladder. Guns definitely has a crazy idea here, said announcer number 2. The Guns approaches Dredd. Dredd throws a steel chair at the Guns. The Guns falls onto the floor, then groans. Man, Dredd just threw that chair at Guns, said announce number 1. Dredd slowly stands up, sees the ladder laying between both the announce table and the ring, then smiles. Dredd just got an idea himself, said announcer number 2. Dredd grabs the Guns, then throws him into the ring. The Guns stops rolling. Dredd climbs onto the ledge, then starts to go through the middle rope. The Guns stands up, then kicks Dredd's chest as he gets into the ring. Dredd groans, then falls onto the mat. Man, what a kick to Dredd's chest, said announcer number 1. The Guns stands up, then starts climbing up the ladder. Guns is heading for his title, said announcer number 2. The Guns gets to the top of the ladder, then reaches for the title. Dredd stands up, then pushes the ladder. The Guns gets hung off the top rope, then falls onto the mat. Oh, Guns got hung up, said announcer number 1. Dredd folds up the ladder, then leans it into the corner. Why didn't Dredd climb the ladder? Asked announcer number 2. He might have an idea, said announcer number 1. Dredd grabs the Guns, picks him up, then whips him into the corner. The Guns reverses it. Dredd runs up the ladder, then back flips over the Guns. What a back flip by Dredd, said announcer number 2. Dredd bounces off of the ropes, then runs at the gun. The Guns does a back body drop onto Dredd. Dredd lands onto the ladder, then groans. Oh, right onto the ladder goes Dredd. The Guns goes through the middle rope, then grabs a ladder. Another ladder. Oh great, said announcer number 1. The Guns places the ladder onto the ledge. Dredd stands up, bounces off of the ropes. On the opposite side of the ring, runs, then drop kicks the ladder. The ladder goes into the Guns' face. The Guns falls onto the floor, then groans. Oh man, that looked nasty, said announcer number 2. Dredd rolls outside of the ring, moves the ladder, grabs a table, then sets it up. A table. I wonder what Dredd has in mind, asked announcer number 1. Dredd picks the Guns up, then places him onto the table. Well, it deals with the table, said announcer number 2. Dredd climbs onto the ledge of the ring, then goes up the turnbuckle. A backflip, I'm guessing, said announcer number 1. The Guns stands up, climbs onto the ledge of the ring, then pushes Dredd off the top turnbuckle. Dredd goes through the ladder and the table between the announce table and the ring. Oh my god, is Dredd alive? Asked announcer number 2. The Guns goes through the middle rope, walks towards the ladder, then sets it up. The Guns is gonna retain his title. There's no way that Dredd's getting up, said announce number 1. The Guns starts climbing up the ladder. Congratulations to Guns. He retains his title, said announcer number 2. The Guns gets to the top of the ladder, then looks down at Dredd. Dredd is laying motionless on the floor. The Guns smiles, then reaches up for the title. The ladder starts shaking. The Guns looks down. The man appears. The man. Where'd he come from? Asked announcer number 1. The Guns is shaking his head. The man lifts the ladder. The Guns falls through the table outside of the ring. Oh my God. Is Guns all right? Asked announcer number 2. The man sets up the ladder, rolls underneath the ropes, picks Dredd up, then slides him into the ring. Dredd is groaning. The man approaches the Guns, picks him up, then throws him over the barricade. The Guns lands onto the concrete, then groans. Oh man, that's not padded out there, said announcer number 1. The man looks into the ring. Dredd is slowly crawling towards the ladder, then pulls himself up. Oh my God, is Dredd gonna win the title? Asked announcer number 2. If he does, it'll be thanks to the man, said announcer number 1. The man is clapping his hands. Come on, faster, said the man. The man's cheering Dredd on, said announcer number 2. The man turns around. A steel chair gets thrown at the man. The man falls onto the floor. The Guns is leaning against the barricade, then climbs over it. The man slowly stands up. The Guns runs at the man, jumps up, then does a curb stomp onto him outside of the ring. A curb stomp, said announcer number 1. But is there enough time? Asked announcer number 2. Dredd gets to the top of the ladder, then reaches for the title. The Guns slides into the ring, quickly climbs up the opposite side of the ladder, then punches Dredd. Dredd groans. The Guns grabs Dredd's head, then continuously bounces it off the top of the ladder. Dredd goes limp, then slides down the ladder. The Guns smiles, then reaches for the title. Dredd climbs back up the ladder, then punches the Guns. The Guns groans. Both men won't quit, said announcer number 1. Dredd grabs the Guns' head, then does a neck breaker off the top of the ladder. A neck breaker off the top of the ladder, said announcer number 2. But did that take out Dredd or the Guns, though? Asked announcer number 1. Dredd slowly stands up, walks towards the ladder, then starts climbing up it. The Guns is slowly moving, then crawls towards the ladder. Dredd gets to the top of the ladder. The Guns goes to move, then stops. The man appears holding the Guns' left leg. The Guns tries kicking the man. The man is groaning, then pulls the Guns outside of the ring. The Guns lands face first onto the floor, then groans. Oh, that had to hurt, said announcer number 2. Meanwhile, Dredd's at the top of the ladder, said announcer number 1. Dredd reaches up, grabs the title, then unhooks it, said announcer number 2. Bell dings. Here's your winner and the new Galaxy champion, Dredd, said announcer number 3. Dredd raises the title. The man is laughing, then walking up the ramp. The Guns is slowly moving, then kneels on the floor. Thanks to the man, we have a new champion, said announcer number 1. Congratulations to Dredd, said announcer number 2. Well folks, we want to thank you for watching. Be safe out there and good night, said announcer number 1. Bye bye, said announcer number 2, waving. Dredd still on top of the ladder, then raises the title. The end.